I forgot my agenda. Should we say the pledge? Danny, will you lead us in the pledge?
Do you want to do that?
All right. Are there any public comments?
We go to closed session first.
Right, but no public comments for now, right? No? Okay, seeing no public comments for now, then we'll, are we recessing? No, we're just going to closed session. Thank you. Done. All right, so we will begin our meeting. Coming to order at 6:07. We will start with our Pledge Allegiance. And we have the privilege to have one of our students from Parks Junior High lead us in the pledge this evening, and it's Gwyneth Morrell. Gwyneth, take it away.
Please stand and place your right hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. All right. Hold on, I have a closed session to report. If I can find my notes. All right. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and, this is where, I don't have it on my agenda, but I'm just going to go ahead. Closed session. So in closed session, we approved a final settlement and release agreement by and between the Fullerton School District and the parents of student OAH case number 2022010497. The district agrees to reimburse parents for compensatory education services previously attained in the amount not to exceed $4,000. The district also agrees to pay as a compromise and a settlement only, the sum of $5,700 for all attorney's fees owed or paid by the parents. The district shall make payment for the attorney's fees to Vanneman German LLP, 14001 Ventura Boulevard, Sherman Oaks, California. So, vote was 4-0. All right, we'll move that. Okay, now we get to do some fun stuff, right? So I am going to introduce Julian Lee. There she is, already ready to go. So give us some great news.
Yes. Good evening. Oh, let me go ahead and start. Hello. Oh, wait. All right. Good evening, President Berryman, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Dr. Bob Pleck, and fellow cabinet members. On March 11th, I was honored to attend the 23rd Annual Holocaust Art and Writing Contest held at Chapman University. I was invited by my good friend and teacher extraordinaire, Darcy Blake. This contest provides an opportunity for middle and high school students to engage with Holocaust survivors or rescue testimonies and respond creatively in 4 different categories: art, film, poetry, or prose. This contest originally started with a few local schools and now has become a national and increasingly international contest. There were 258 registered schools this year and submissions from thousands of students. We had students from Park Junior High School, Beechwood K-8, and Ladera Vista School of the Arts submit entries, and tonight we will celebrate this year's student winners and finalists of this event. Students, if you hear your name, and family members, you may come up for a picture up if we call your name. We do have cupcakes prepared for all. Yes, all those that we call up. Beechwood, we're going to start with Beechwood. Jaden Beaumont, a finalist who submitted in the prose category. Are you here? Sophia Tabal submitted in the art category. Joey Baldonado submitted in the art category. And I would like to also honor teacher Marissa Sunny, who could not attend tonight, but we have Principal Hannah Lim attending on her behalf. Yay. Thank you, President Berryman and Dr. Bob Flecka for helping out with the cupcakes. Next, we have Ladera Vista. Logan Langrell won second place in the prose category. I would also like to honor teacher Darcy Blake. Woo! For Parks Junior High, we have Gwyneth Morrell, who won second place in the poetry category, Grace Park, who was a finalist in the art category, and I would like to honor teacher Kimberly Halstead. Grace Kim, forgive me, was a finalist in the art category. Okay, it is our honor tonight to actually have Gwyneth Morrell read her poetry winning submission. Gwyneth, yeah, come on up here. Thank you.
This is A Camp Sister Spirit inspired by the survivor Elizabeth Mann. I don't know how she did it. Learned to paint pictures of the past when the present rubbed her raw. If only it had been a ghost that had shattered the glass. An illusion, a fable that could be soothed back to sleep with a few choice words. Much worse was the hatred, the way backs break under the pressure of it. Under the pressure of a brother's body, under the pressure of a pained mind, a blank canvas to fill with memories. I don't know how she did it. Find friendships so deep in a place so foul and full of fear. First came the brutality and then the betrayal. Her own country turned its back. In cattle cars and camps, smothering, crying, starving, dying, weakened and aching, she found a light. A group of girls to share the weight of what could have been. I don't know how she did it. Hold their faces in her hands and whisper in their ears songs of hope. In straight lines they stood, awaiting their fate, upholding a promise they made, to always stand together and face the pain. Above the deadly hatred they rose, like a rain cloud in the driest drought. The camp sisters replenished each other's hopes. I don't know how she did it. Discover all the secrets of a sturdy spirit in a simple pact. It didn't end poetically, it didn't end at all with endless haunted dreams. But even through the threats of death, their bond could not be blackened. Through it all, a pact of loyalty, strength, peace, and in her ears, the words of a sister rings. We have to survive and tell the world what happened. Thank you.
How old are you? It always floors me to hear our students when they write and when they are in debate and speech and as they're going through their process. And I always tell people that we're going to be okay. That when we always think that, oh gosh, there's so many things happening in this world, I look to our students and I say, okay, this gives me hope. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. Thank you. And I try not to cry, so. All right, we have our next presentation, Chad.
Yes. Good evening, President Berryman, Board of Trustees, Dr. Pletka and Cabinet, and all of the guests with us this evening. It is my great pleasure to announce that we have a teacher who has not just been honored at the level of being an Orange County Teacher of the Year, but as being honored as a state-level Teacher of the Year for the California League of Schools. I'm so excited because she gave an incredible speech at the recognition event, and she's going to come tonight and share that speech with us. So at this moment, I'd like to invite up Veronica Kraus, the 2022 California League of Schools Teacher of the Year.
Thank you for having me tonight. Throughout my 19-year journey as an educator, I've learned so much from my students, but I truly believe that the most important thing I've learned is the power of building strong relationships. The wonderful Rita F. Pearson said it best. Every child deserves a champion, an adult who will never give up on them, who understands the power of connection and insists that they become the best that they can possibly be. As I reflect on my journey, I think about the champions in my own life. First and foremost, my parents, my first teachers who immigrated to this promising country, worked hard, and accomplish the American dream. They instilled in me the value of working hard to achieve a goal and the power of helping others along the way. But I also think about my other champions, my school teachers. I think about Miss Tomling, my kindergarten teacher. When I was 5, I moved from East Los Angeles to Buena Park. In my kinder class, I was surrounded by peers who spoke English, and I only spoke Spanish. My teacher, Miss Tomling, welcomed me into the classroom with the warmest smile. And although she did not speak Spanish, she helped me grow by leaps and bounds that year. I trusted her because I knew she cared about me. I think about my 4th grade teacher, Miss Durden, who was there for me the year my grandmother passed away from cancer. It was the first time I had ever experienced losing a loved one. It was a challenging year, and it was so difficult to focus at school, but I remember Miss Durden would allow me to read a book when I first came into class so that I could ease into my day. She knew I loved to read, and it helped me cope with my loss. Relationships matter tremendously, and not only have I learned it from my students, but also as a student myself. As teachers, our students come to us with everything they have. Some come ready to learn, while others, albeit that's what they'd like, are not quite there yet due to life circumstances. Students that are new to the country, grieving the loss of a loved one, displaced from their home, facing family troubles. The list is endless. Many of my students have been reluctant readers, or the sports fanatic that doesn't see the need for school because he or she will become a famous athlete one day, or the student with the healthiest of home, but still needs an encouraging teacher to keep them motivated and engaged. I have found that the more I invest in getting to know my students and building strong relationships, the more they trust me and are more open to learning, even when the learning is challenging. My greatest hope is that I've been to my students what Ms. Tomling and Ms. Durden were to me, a teacher that cared, their champion, who connected with them and motivated them to become the best version of themselves.
And we have a presentation from Bev Berryman to Veronica, just congratulating her for her nomination and being selected.
Now we have a short presentation. There's an item on our agenda this evening that is a new contract for something that we take very seriously. And when we talk about our English language learners and we talk about what it is that we're doing for our students, I think it's really important to showcase that and what we're doing as a district to be able to provide additional services. So I ask that we have a small presentation to show what it is, because when that item comes number S on our agenda later on, we'll know exactly what it is that we're voting on. So thank you for doing this for us.
Thank you. I'm back. You took the words right out of my mouth. That was perfectly said, President Berryman. With that, I would like to introduce to you Dr. Erlinda Sortera Ruiz. She is the Director of Educational Services, who will be giving you more information on elevation.
You can sing for us if you'd like.
Oh, we were practicing a good song, too. So good evening, President Berryman, school board members, Superintendent Dr. Pleka, Executive Cabinet, and all those present. I come to you this evening not as a rep for Elevation, but as an educator that takes our English learners, now known as our multilingual learners, very seriously. We need to ensure that all the support possible is instilled in our teaching, our professional development, and how we can acquire our information to support them. So this evening, I know you have copies in front of you, and audience, we will bring it up shortly, but we're due to the lack of time. I want to make sure that we keep going with this. Elevation is a one-stop shop for our EL program management and our ELD. We are here to enhance our ELD program that we have currently, make things a little bit easier for all to see, administrators, teachers, and district personnel as well. There are 3 components to the actual program that we have. We will be using 2 of those, the platform and the strategies. The math vocabulary component will be coming hopefully in the next year so that we can see how it will support our students even better. But the 2 main reasons why we are purchasing this program, it's to monitor the achievement of our English learners and our FIP students on an individual basis. This is to identify which students are eligible for reclassification and the process of their exit program in our school system. The second reason is for family communication around student progress towards proficiency. This is more of a continuous and constant progress monitoring that we have for our students, and it is at our fingertips anytime that we should need it. The platform component is centralized data and planning to enhance our EL program's efficacy. So this allows us to use multiple data points and provide specific interventions to be able to identify how many English learners we have, how many LTELs, the scores by grade. So it's a dashboard that we can see everything all at once. Teachers will have this available as well as administrators. It will help us oversee quickly the requirements that we need to support our students and identify a strategic plan for their needs. Also, it is a record of individual student data, which ends up being a digital profile, so to speak. It streamlines all the paperwork because right now we have little bits and pieces in a folder, and this is more a digital format for all of our students. The next component for the platform is monitoring our ELs. It will digitize, as mentioned, and also it will ensure that we have proper support in place, which is a part of teacher input. And this will allow us to better monitor our English learners and continue moving them forward through reclassification. Also streamlining our reclassification process. It will help us gather periodic teacher feedback to ensure academic achievement and in post-reclassification as well, because we need to continue monitoring our students when they become RFEPs for 4 years so that we are able to make the materials that we have very authentic. And this will enable us to work efficiently to ensure that none of our students slip through the cracks, so to speak. The best portion, in my view, is the strategies portion, which this will include different language activities that will be incorporated into the lessons that will end up enhancing our integrated and designated ELD with collections from various sources, and the lessons are easy to implement and help create a more student-centered classroom. The teachers can directly input into these lessons and incorporate anything that they're using currently right now into the actual lessons. The most effective part, I believe, from this program is that we will be developing teachers to use flexible PD models, professional development for themselves, to ensure that they are continuously learning together with their teachers, their colleagues, administrators, and this will make it a whole staff inclusive conversations for them, and all the lessons and PDs are on hand. So in a nutshell, this is something that we've been looking for and waiting for to help support our English learners. And hopefully it will be voted in.
Does anyone have
Any questions?
I will ask, whoa, that's loud. I will ask the professional development, what kind of time commitment is that for the staff? And
The professional developments normally run about an hour, so in our given minimum days or in our staff meetings, we can extend them for about an hour each, but the lessons themselves also are incorporated in there as well, so that they can learn what the lessons are all about, and administrators, even, district office can actually use this professional development. So they're about an hour chunk time.
is that during the summer, or is that ongoing?
No,
and
these are
happening?
all like videos online that we can do
Okay.
during the school year, during the summer, so we can take the professional development at any time of the year.
Thank you.
Is this other districts using this?
Yes, they are about 225 districts in California. Closest that we have nearby is Placentia, Yorba Linda. So they've already been on board with this, so we are looking forward to jump on that as well.
So this is we're not renewing this contract. It's actually
No,
a new
it's a new one,
contract
yeah.
to us. So have they shown the effectiveness or efficiency using this?
Yes, from conversations with principals in Placentia, Yorba Linda, they have seen great strides in their English learners, and especially because they are able to get the data straight on hand. Right now, we have our platform that we use, but it's a little bit, older model to navigate, and this is, dashboard style and ready to use.
And from what I understand, you can go in, pinpoint exactly what that student needs, be able to pull up something that will directly relate to that, and be able to
Exactly, especially
to
for our
deliver.
newcomers.
Right.
That will be right on the money.
All right, okay, thank you so much for.
Thank you very much.
For presenting. Thank you guys for sitting in and listening to that exciting stuff. Again, that's what we're about, is teaching kids. All right, so that was it. All right, we're moving on to our superintendent's report. I forgot to tell them about the sibling cupcakes. We have some extra cupcakes. Can we entice you?
You don't have to tell them that.
That's okay. You guys can have cupcakes. We'll give you a cupcake. Don't. Oh yeah, she heard. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. It wasn't something it has nothing personal.
So first I want to just acknowledge the teachers, the staff, IIS, Jeremy, all the principals, the entire ed services. There was a whole team of people that came out to help support our FSD Fest. It was this last weekend, and it was really, in some cases, some of the very best that came out in terms of innovation. My favorite part was the kids. So we were kind of in the showroom area of Cal State, and I'm there, and literally kids are coming up. They're like, Dr. Pletka, you've got to see this. And so they were showing me all this great work. And then this other kid comes up to me and says, oh, you've got to see this. And then they start telling me about it. And then I had a girl from Nicholas. She came up. She says, what do you think of the pamphlet? And I'm like, it's a great pamphlet. She goes, I did it. And the kids were so excited about their work. And wherever we went, I mean, the Wonder of Waters and the Van Gogh-esque experience based on student artwork, that was amazing. League of Literacy. We don't know the exact number, but probably a couple thousand people over that period of time that were there, and parents were proud. And so just a big thank you to our whole community But also I want to acknowledge the work Jeremy did to lead and to make that event a success, as well as all the teachers that really were the champions. And we heard that from Mrs. Krause earlier. You know, it's championing our kids. And so we had so many teachers doing that, and it's just so thankful. Have a little round of applause.
Yeah, thank you.
Just to say, we are in the home stretch, but there is a lot still to be done. We are in basically 2 months left. Just to give you some highlights that we still need to do here at the board table, we have LCAP. We still have 2 meetings to do of all the things that we need to look at. The board, you need to decide, and there's been some good work with our LCAP committee. They'll be bringing that to you. We also have a dual immersion and potentially selecting a school for next year to open up. We have the whole social emotional piece, and that's really a new bucket for us. We've spent a couple $1 million in new counselors and supports in our schools, and we really want to share and showcase the things that we're doing, as well as potentially making some adjustments in our LCAP. There's a lot of good work. This is one of the primary board goals that we had, and so there's still a lot of work. And again, in a very short period of time, that's something we'll be bringing. Our iReady date, I think it was a Rooney, but we've had a couple people ask, how are our kids doing? What about learning loss? And I think you'll see that while I think largely speaking, our kids in 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade did well considering all the things during the pandemic. It's not surprising that kindergarten kids that are 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, who in 40% of them never did come physically to school. And those of you who have worked with 5-year-olds or have seen 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds, having them sit in front of an iPad where the teacher is this big, trying to learn reading and writing is such a heavy lift. So you'll see that in the areas of early literacy, this is going to need to be a focus for our district. And so we'll be bringing you that data. Our DEI committee will be reporting out. That's a huge goal as well from the board. That's something that we're looking at. And then let's not forget our student recognitions. We still have a whole flurry of celebrations that we need to do with our kids. I'm also very excited to talk about promotion ceremonies are back. And so for our 8th graders, have it a little I'm excited about that. 6th grade promotion ceremonies are back. And so all of those things that I know our kids and our families, it's important, and we're excited to be able to do all of these things and all of this in the next 2 months.
Oh, gosh.
So,
And a wedding.
Yes, and a wedding too, in the case of Bev Berryman's. Not you, but your daughter. All right, so just wanted to share kind of the next couple months of activities we've got, and like I said, most excited about some of the events returning to normal so that we can celebrate with our kids and families.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Information from our Board of Trustees. We'll start down there with Trustee Meyer.
Well, I have quite a few shout outs to give. One was the block party. There were so many people involved in the block party at Parks. And I remember going up to people, it was the night after we had a board meeting that went fairly late. And I thought, do you guys ever go home? Do you guys you're just going all the time. We appreciate it. And it really was a great event. Well done, everybody. And I'd like to give a little shout out to Pam Keller and Nancy Karcher. She said, we wrote a grant to the Fullerton Education Foundation to support our physics project with the roller coasters. The culminating activity was a trip to Knott's Berry Farm. How cool for those 58 students and about 30 parents on the trip. It was fun to hear them talk about the concepts they'd learned while seeing and after riding on the coasters. We used Goose Chase app to extend the learning on the trip. It was a great day, despite the 100-degree weather. A shout out to everyone who went yesterday to the golf tournament. It was the first, and it was a very successful event. A lot of work went into it, and a lot of fun too. So, And kudos to Monica Torres and Hilda, who's not here, but that was a little bit of her brainchild. And then we are on the home stretch. We've got open house time. It's spring. There's programs. There's plays, and camp. And like Dr. Bob said, there's a lot going on in the next 2 months. And we look forward to seeing a lot of great things for the end of the year. Thanks.
Thank you. Trustee Talavera?
Yeah, you took the FSD Fest away from me. You pretty much summarized it real perfectly. So Jeremy, team, everyone involved with the FSD Fest. I said I was gonna go for like a few hours, and like I was thinking like maybe an hour and a half. I stayed pretty much the whole time. My son was there just enjoying the experience, the events, hearing the spotlight speakers. Again, Bev, you mentioned earlier, we had the student from Parks. It's just so amazing to see these students up there talk about their passions, their dreams, what they're learning, and just the way they speak. I mean, I was always not a very good public speaker, but I've learned over the years that I gotta, build on what I'm not really good at. So, but it's really amazing to see, these 6th graders, 7th graders, 8th graders go up there in front of, in a sense, strangers, seeing their parents in the audience and be able to speak the way they do and articulate, the information that they've been learning and reading about, and really passionately about it. So I spoke to one of the students, and she did this research all on her own. So it was just really amazing to see that they take their time, right, aside from their schoolwork that they're doing on the day-to-day, to do this and put this together, and then also participate in this opportunity of learning outside that classroom. So really near and dear to me, super supportive, and again, encourage families to attend open houses. I was at Orange Thorpe last Thursday attending their open house. So for everyone in the audience here present and here in the board meeting virtually, encourage you individuals to attend some of the open houses, and also encourage maybe some of your neighbors, people that might not have school-age kids, to attend with you, and so you can highlight and really brag about what your kids are doing at our school site. So really encourage that. It's really beneficial to get the information out there, not just to our parents, but to the rest of the community as well too. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we are in the home stretch too, so.
At the sake of not repeating everything, what I loved about tonight, the theme, just as it always is, was centering our students. This poem, Teacher of the Year, that recognized her relationship with teachers, and then now is giving that to our students, and what we have to do in the next 2 months. It's daunting, but I know that we can do it. This team is wonderful. FSD Fest was so great, and what I loved about it was after students got off the stage, they got a one-on-one interview. It was, they were the center, and it was so wonderful to be able to raise them up and say, everybody, look at this amazing work that's happening. And I think we always have to remember that. I feel like we always do a great job, but if we just remember that it's about our students, I think we'll be okay. And like you said, President Berryman, that was beautiful. I do get so much going on in the world that's negative, but if we can just focus on our children, I think we'll be okay.
Thank you. I echo everything everyone said, and for the sake of time, I want to put one announcement out there for those of you that don't know this. On April 23rd coming up is our All Community Love Fullerton Serve Day, which a lot of our schools are participating in, where our community comes together, more than 2,000 people, and they pick a project within the community, and they serve for the morning, and then they have a lunch. So those are things that happen here in our community, understanding that we all are here together. That's what makes us proud, for us to serve our community as well, but for everyone to be able to take a part of that has been great. And thank you for OC United and the Fullerton Collaborative for helping along with that one. So thank you. All right. We are now on to information from our associations. Do we have anyone from DLAC here today? Or did they submit a
Yes,
statement?
President,
Okay.
Yes, thank you, and I'll be reading on behalf of DLAC. Good evening, President Berryman, school board members, Superintendent Dr. Pleka, Executive Cabinet, and all families present and listening. On behalf of the DLAC Cabinet, we would like to thank the board members and the Educational Services team for their continued support to the English learners students, their parents, and the community. We would like to invite you to our next DLAC meeting on Friday, April 15th at Rolling Hills Elementary from 9:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. We will be celebrating bilingualism, multilingualism with the bilingual book giveaway, along with hands-on parent activity, growing stories for our families. This activity will allow parents to continue the communication at home on the importance of embracing one's background and native language. We would also like to congratulate the parents from Valencia Park who have successfully completed the 10 Educational Commandments training. Nicholas Junior High School Smarts Parent Training and Orangethorpe's Words Alive Training are both doing great with 90% perfect attendance so far. Great job, parents. Again, thank you for all of your support and commitment to our FSD families. We truly appreciate all that you do. Sincerely, Eglith Nunzi, DLAC President and DLAC Cabinet.
Thank you. Do we have anyone from PTA here?
Yes, Ms. Rusi.
Oh.
Good evening, President Berryman, board members, Dr. Pletka, and cabinet members. My name is Ruthie Hanchett, and I am reading a report on behalf of the Fullerton Council PTA. So on March 29, we held our elections for our executive board, and we elected the members, including President Open, so that's a recruitment, Executive Vice President Christy Carter, Secretary Nebi Jawar, Treasurer Sarah Budeshki, VP of Membership Lisa Sherman, Auditor Lisa Jewell, Historian Jody Frausto. On March 30th, Fullerton Council was well represented at the 4th District PTA Administrative Dinner.
The best represented.
The best. We actually were recognized for being the
As you
council
should have been.
with the closest to having every single principal in attendance. Yes, it was a fun night.
Of all of Orange County.
It was,
Very good.
yeah, representing all of Orange County, we were the ones with the most principals, but I also want to recognize and thank our principals for giving their time, for their evenings. I know it's a sacrifice, and PTA appreciates the support that demonstrated. Hermosa Elementary was also recognized with an honorable mention for their Creative Program Award. And our board is currently working with some of our units that are struggling to build active PTAs this year. We want to make sure that they are set up for next school year well. And we are looking forward to our end of the year luncheon happening on Tuesday, April 26th. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruthie. Okay, CSEA.
Good evening, President Berryman, board members, cabinet, and community. I'm Sherry Williamson. I'm the communications officer for the Chapter 130 CSEA e-board. Our chapter and classified employees in the district have had another busy month. The chapter e-board attended personnel commission meetings, met with CWA to discuss the possibility of transfer processing digitally, participated on interview panels with HR, and attended PAL meetings across the district. Members submitted requests for sunshine items to the negotiations team, and the selected items are with CSEA state level for approval. We held 3 site rep information sessions. They were open to all members, and they provided information about CSEA in general, about the chapter, and about the site rep position specifically. Currently, Chapter 130 is accepting nominations for Employee of the Year. A lot of people think that only a CSEA member can nominate another CSEA member, but that's not the case. Anyone in the district can nominate a classified employee for Employee of the Year. It does not have to come from another member or a manager or an admin. It can be anybody. If you would like the nomination, anybody, that's right. If you would like the nomination form, Tizak Castillo is who to contact. We have currently received 6 application requests for chapter scholarships and have formed a committee to select up to 3 recipients, each for $600 scholarships.
Nice.
Applications are due May 6th. Tatiana Ortega is the e-board member to contact for applications for scholarships. Chapter 130 also moved forward 4 volunteers as delegates to the CSEA convention in Las Vegas, July 24th to 28th. Tatiana Ortega, Marlene Acosta, Yvonne Carlos, and I have volunteered to attend and represent Chapter 130 with Teresa Corona as an alternate if needed. Chapter 130 would like to thank the board for approving the SEL MOU and to remind all employees to complete their SEL tasks and attestation by May 6th. Finally, Chapter 130 would like to wish students good luck with state testing, which officially starts April 18th at all the different school sites. They don't all start on April 18th, but that's the official open date. Thank you all for your time and the opportunity to report for CSEA.
Thank you. Vida?
Hi guys, how are you guys? Nice to see you again. Good evening, President Berryman, Board of Trustees, Dr. Pletka, Executive Board, teachers, parents, and guests. My name is Mark Jacobs, President of FETA. I represent Fullerton teachers. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the outstanding effort of our teachers. The constraints and challenges this year to teaching have been many. COVID, of course, COVID diagnosis. We have teaching behind masks, learning loss and learning loss interventions. We've got the infamous quarantine COVID independent study demands that many of you know very well, and they've greatly taxed our teachers. FETA teachers have done all this while still providing and creating relationships and providing our students with exceptional teaching, and as well as our stellar programs such as All the Arts, Speech and Debate, FSD Stage, FSD Fest, just to name a few. We are currently preparing and practicing for our upcoming ASPAC testing. Last month, teachers completed a very successful parent conference week, and we enjoyed meeting with our students and parents to discuss their progress. On behalf of the teachers of FETA, I would also like to acknowledge the extraordinary efforts of our FSD payroll department. Payroll coordinator Maria Hill and her department have been inundated with extra work resulting from various tentative agreements from the various associations and MOUs. And a huge thank you goes out to her, Maria Hill, Tracy Ocampo, Adita Bravo, and Jasmine Valtiera for all their hard work and extra hours. You are appreciated by the teachers of FETA, and I would like to ask us to give them a round of applause. Sometimes they work behind the scenes but don't always get recognition, so they make everything run, the payroll department. Also, on behalf of the negotiations team and the teachers of FETA, I'd like to acknowledge the extra effort, time, and creativity to all of those who were helping and helped in this creating FSD's social emotional learning professional development website. We don't have an acronym for that, but that's what I said. This website demonstrates that FSD not only provides SEL resources for our students, but also for our staff, our wonderful FSD staff. So this site just provides a plethora of resources for mental health. And so a very special thank you goes out to Dr. Julian Lee, to Dr. Chad Hammett, to Jeremy Davis, to Dr. Helene Morris, to Dr. Robin Gilligan, to Dr. Chung Lai, to George Laura, Jackie Gallardo Ormaster, Rosanna Fonseca, Tracy Kim, Amy Lees, Tina Maldonado, Amy Sotolongo, Ann Kabarbu, and Joshua Holmes. Thank you to anyone else too that was part of creating this website that was not mentioned. FETA appreciates and acknowledges your effort in pulling this together in a relatively short period of time. It's an excellent site and great resources. Thank you. And I'd like to give all of them a round of applause too. With 7 weeks left of school, Darlene Nosland, our wonderful first vice president, is working with Nina Moda to arrange the end of the year celebration on Thursday, May the 12th. And we'll be recognizing our Teachers of the Year, Years of Service, and our retirees. It will be held here at the district and at the quad here beginning, I believe, at 4 o'clock. And we humbly invite all of you to come. We also continue our dialogue with the district on how to improve effective strategies to deal with difficult students and also to deal with teacher-student safety. We hope to collaborate and refine, improve our protocols as we meet next week to discuss. Our commitment to PBIS and our incredible on-site certificated and classified staff supporting our students is so helpful. We appreciate the efforts of our student success mentor, Lauren Comini, and our student success liaisons also that have been provided to our junior highs. Visibility and consistent connection with our students is very important. And then also too, I know I repeat myself, but it's important. Please know that we recognize and commend our teachers, our classified support staff, as well as administration and cabinet. The Wall Street Journal reported today 8.5% inflation now, not 5, not 6, not 7, now it's 8.5, and it is concerning to FETA and all of us, really. The effects eat away at our purchasing power, and our conscientious teachers are doing our best every day, like everyone, but it is discouraging to understand that our purchasing power continues to be in the way. FETA looks forward to working with administration to address this ongoing concern. And finally, as I always say, thank you, President Berryman. I apologize for that. Board members and Superintendent Pleckett and the entire FSD cabinet for your support and willingness to hear us, work with us, and to work towards solving problems. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I confused you. I like to Shazma?
President Berryman,
Yes.
I'm going to be reading on behalf of Dr. Robin Gilligan.
Okay.
Reminder to join us tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. for our Student Succeeding celebration at the Fullerton Community Center Grand Ballroom. This celebration is to honor one student from each school who has overcome challenges or hardships in their life. These students were chosen by their teachers and principal because they have done an amazing job in school despite the challenges they faced. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night. That's it.
That was fast, yeah. Okay, thank you. All right, seeing all of our information from our associations completed, I have some public comments. Let me just review them real fast to see if they're on anything that's not on the agenda. At this time, we will take public comments that are for items that are not on our agenda. So it looks like all of that I have right here are for public comments for item that is on the agenda. So I'm going to hold off on that for now, and we will have those public comments when that item comes up. Seeing no other public comments, right? Then we will move on to approving the minutes. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from March 15th meeting?
I move to approve the minutes of the March 15th meeting.
I'll second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from the March 15th meeting. Any changes? Anybody have any comments? No? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? No? Okay, thank you. We have agenda approval, so does anyone have any changes to the agenda? Anything before we approve our agenda as it is presented?
To include the addendum.
We have a change. We have
Yes.
a
Okay.
1A,
1A.
so we can, unless we wait till the consent to do that on consent, because we'll be.
Okay, we'll wait.
Okay,
I move to approve the agenda.
all right. Any,
I'll second.
all right, anybody have any, nothing? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? No? Okay. All right, then we have the consent agenda. We do have a addendum on item 1A. So does somebody want to, now, Jenny, approve the consent agenda with the change?
I move to approve the consent agenda with addendum to consent item 1A.
Okay. All right. Anyone second that?
I'll se-
Second, go ahead.
It's a tie for second. Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we approve agenda with the amendment to 1A, which is our personnel report. Those in, oh, okay, so we approve, oh, yeah. Okay, so then we'll, oh, I'm so sorry, do we have, well, let's cross off so you guys have an addendum that says 1A, so let's correct that to 1B. It's okay. We'll correct that to 1B, and we will then accept we're presenting our consent agenda with a change to 1B. Does anyone have anything that they want to speak on the consent agenda?
Do we need to edit the motion? That,
Okay,
Trustee
so
Meyer made?
do you want to rescind the original motion and redo it?
I'll rescind the first motion and
Okay.
redo it
Okay,
to the consent item with addendum consent item 1B.
all right, thank you.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and
There
seconded
you
that
go.
we
Take that.
do it the right way. Okay, now, does anyone have any comments about the consent agenda before we approve it, or?
No, just in spirit of Trustee Sugarman not being here, let's all take a look at all the wonderful donations that come in.
Can't we
that
just get
help.
away with it one time?
No, in the spirit
not
of
here.
her absence,
There
yeah,
you go.
just
You already
take a
have it
look.
up. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
It's on cue, but yeah.
You know, we couldn't do it without the community support. Well, we could do it, we just do it better
Yeah.
when we have our community support and things like the Fullerton Fest, and those additional things that we do for our kids and our students in our district wouldn't happen without people partnering with us, collaborating with us, and helping us see that we can do great things with just a little bit more resources, right? So thank you. Okay. Anyone else have any other comments about the consent? Can we vote it in, and then I'm going to then deviate a little bit. So all those in favor of the consent agenda with our change, with our modification, say aye.
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 Any opposed? No? Okay, so then, at this stage, we're going to make note on what our item 1B was. Chad, would you like to do the honors? So in case you guys are, so 1B was a change to our personnel report, which we are now happy to be able to present to you. And thank you for waiting, because it's only been, it's a lesson in government, right? All right, Chad.
We are very excited this evening to be able to announce 2 brand new principals to the Fullerton School District. So it's my great honor and privilege to start by introducing our new principal to Commonwealth Elementary, Jean Summey. And Jean, could you introduce your family, who you brought with you this evening as well?
All right.
My lifelong friend Karen Melkonian is here, and my daughter is watching the live stream from law school.
We are so excited to have Jean join us as the new principal at Commonwealth. She's been serving as the interim principal at Commonwealth since January, and she has actually worked as a teacher here in the Fullerton School District for almost 10 years now. So it's great to have her with us, and she's just done an amazing job. We're very pleased to have her as part of our administrative team.
We're so pleased to have you. You've done, like you said, you've done a phenomenal job in stepping up and leading the school, and we are so happy and so excited to see the things that you're going to do for our students and our families. So thank you.
Next, I'm pleased to announce a new principal at Woodcrest Elementary beginning for the new school year, the 22-23 school year. Our new principal is Christopher Wilkins. Christopher comes to us from the state of Indiana. So we're really pleased to have him here. As I understand, his entire family is moving here. His wife has been telecommuting and actually commuting on a weekly basis from Indiana to Los Angeles. So we're really very happy to have him join us and look forward to him being part of our Woodcrest family and our larger Fullerton family.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And Chris, if you could please introduce your family to us.
Absolutely. I have my wife, Nicole, and Pierce or PJ. My daughter, Sydney. And our 8th grade son, Gavin, is still back home in Indiana. Thank you, guys.
Welcome.
Thank you.
And we're so thrilled he brings to this position K-12, right? So he's bringing a whole background behind him to understands what kids are going through, has programs that are similar to those programs that are at Woodcrest now, seems to fit right in with our district, likes to brag about his school on social media, kind of what we do here. And so we are so happy to have you guys. Anything we can do to support you, we're here for you. So thank you, and thank goodness you guys finally don't have to travel so much. So thank you. Okay, all right, thank you. So at this time, if you guys want to go. Oh, please take cupcakes.
President Berryman, can we take 5?
Yes, and we will take a 5-minute personal necessity break. 5 minutes.